Hello all, we are here for a new lesson of the VariCAD training course. This is lesson number 9 and it's called To the Drawing Area and Coordinate System. With this lesson we are starting on a new chapter and this chapter is all about 2D entities, commands, the additional functions like in this lesson the coordinate system and others. So starting in what we need to see, I would like to show you first about something that we can call changing views. And if we come here to the menu view, we have all these functions. I'm excluding this last one, but we have all these functions related with the display. Okay, so first I have two functions which are the redraw and the regenerate, which I can call the rebuild functions. And the first one, redraw, it's used for a refresh of the 2D area. So this is not very easy to show you in my computer, but basically sometimes the hardware which the users are using in their computers is a little old or slow, or even the drawing we are working with is very heavy. And when we do the things like this, going zoom in, zoom out, changing entities, sometimes the drawing has a wrong display or has some errors. And if we come here to the redraw, then it will refresh and not recalculate, but it will make a redisplay of what is shown. Okay. For a similar purpose, we have the regenerate function, which has more or less the same purpose, but in terms of the calculation of what is on the drawing area. Okay, but basically it's the same principle, not for the display, but in terms of the entities we have. And what can happen also is about very heavy drawings. We change things, delete some things, cut others. We work around to the entities, and there is a point where we may need to recalculate everything so that the program cleans what it has been doing until that moment. Okay, these are graphical functions. Going a little down on this menu, we have these functions for viewing things. So to help us, I will open one of the sample drawings that VariCAD has on the library, on the installation folder. So I will make the open. Let me just find out where I have it. Okay, sample 1. This has some 2D entities, and we will use these ones to show these options. So menu view, and we can do, let's start a little down, we can do this kind of function which are, for example, the zoom window. And the zoom window allows us to choose 2 points, 1 point, open a window, and then choose the second point. And this window that I'm choosing will be the next thing I will have in my front. So second click, okay. This is a zoom window and is used to make things closer of my eyes. Okay. If I come here again, and if I do now the previous view, then it will come to the last thing or the last area that I was seeing before I make the zoom. I will make another zoom now in another place, and I will use another function here, which is the zoom all. The zoom all will put in front of my eyes all the entities I have drawn in my drawing area. So zoom all, okay? And it shows me everything. For example, if I have I can draw a line, a big line, okay, a line, sorry, I can draw a line here, okay, and now you see that the line is a little out of the screen. So if I make the zoom all, okay, it will put on the screen everything I have drawn. Another function here is the zoom format, and the zoom format is a little different from the zoom all because it has to do with the format of the sheet I have defined in my file. In this case is a A3 that I have by default, and it corresponds to this rectangle here. So if I make the zoom format, it will show me only the entities I have inside my format. It doesn't care about this, okay? Last, I can have this aerial view window, and it will show me something like this. I can define what I want to see, okay? And I can choose from a larger window, smaller one, or define it by corner. So a larger one or smaller one, okay, smaller, and I can choose the area, or larger again, so, or define it by corners. I want to choose this one, but I have a kind of an aerial place to see everything I have, and I can choose from a static point of view. So it's quite easy to work with this. Another very important thing is, I will make the zoom all again. I will clean this. I don't care about this. I'll make the zoom all again. I have another possibility here, which is to save views and restore views. This is very good when we are working with complex drawings, and I may lose a little the sense where I'm working, and if I use these functionalities, I can turn around this problem. And how to do this? I will use first the save views, and the save views is no more, no less than I can choose, this is all my drawing, and let's assume that I will work a little on this corner that I will define now. The zoom window, and I will choose this thing here, okay? I'm working in this area. So now I can make a save view and save it as view whatever, 1, 2, 3, whatever I want. So save as view 1. I will come again for my zoom all, and then I say that I'm working in this area here. Also, I will have the need. Again, zoom window, 2 points, okay. And save view now as save as view 2. So, zoom all, and now, because the program does not care what I have inside these views, but it memorizes the place where these things are, I can easily come here and restore view the other 3 to 8. I don't have anything, as you know. I can do it, restore view 2, and automatically I go here. Or if I can come to the other one, okay, I can change very quickly the place where I am, independently of working in any given moment with the zoom functions. So I think these are very good functionalities to work in 2D area. Now I would like to show you some configurations that have to do with this topic that we are talking about in this lesson. And on the previous lesson we talked a little about the system settings, but there are some specific stuff that I want to show you. And one is about the display. And you know already that because we are talking about 2D, I just want to talk about 2D, some options on the 2D settings, and in particular display 2D objects. I have some functionality, and in this particular case what I want to show you, number of segments full circles are created from. I have a value, a range of values that I can use, and in practical terms these are the number of segments which every circle is made of. So in this case I'm saying for each circle I can do 50 segments to compose the circle. My range of values is from 50 to 250, and the value that VariCAD has by default is 128. So let us start with the maximum value and make a very big circle to show what I want you to see about. So if you see this circle, it seems quite good quality in terms of being round. Okay, for sure in mathematical terms it's a circle, but graphical display, you know that this is a little smooth. It's an approximation of a circle. Sorry. So if I zoom in a little, you still continue to see a very smooth line. Okay, but if I go to that option and now I change the value to the minimum, which is 50, now if I do an approximation, you see that the circle is not as smooth. Okay, it's composed by segments. So that value has to do with this. Why this is here? On the drawings we are showing, we have not so much entities, but when we are talking about drawings with 10,000 entities, 50,000 entities, then the smoothness of the circles, it's important for processing. If you have a very high value on that parameter, then you may have problems on the time that the computer starts to take to work. Then you may lower the value, but this is a compromise, and I think the value of 128 is quite good as a compromise between performance and quality. So if each one of you start to work with very large drawings, then you may feel the need to change the value up or down. It doesn't matter, it depends on what you are doing. Okay, another configuration I would like to show you is about, still on the 2D, it's about 2D object selection settings. And here we have several things important. First is the cursor aperture size. I have it on the maximum. I will leave it, and I will choose a very easy command, it doesn't matter now, which is the delete. And you can see the size of my square to choose things. Memorize this size, because now I will go there and I will change this for the minimum value so that you can see the difference. So now I will put the 4 and again delete. You see a very small cursor. Okay, by default you have a value of 8, which I think is quite middle compromise for working without having a big square for selection or a very small one. Sorry, I'm a little cold, so sorry for this additional noise. We have a couple of more interesting things in this option, which is this option here. If no 2D object is found, blah 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 blah. If you have unchecked, then I will leave it unchecked. When you go to the selection, delete, then you don't have the opportunity to make a selection window. You have to pick directly, okay? On the other hand, just to show, if you go there and put a thick on this, now if you go to the exact same command, if you click, then you are allowed to open a window. Okay? That is the difference. Finally, on that option, what we can see there is about cursor movement, the direction when you open a window, and how the selection is made for the cursor movement. So it's just to see about what to do with this. I think it's quite clear if you come here and understand this. Okay. Finally, I would like to talk to you about a little of coordinate systems. So VariCAD by default uses two types. One is the absolute, which is the coordinate system that comes with the software when you start a new file. And if it is not changed, if it is the absolute coordinate system, then the system is always here in this lower left corner. And when I'm talking about the coordinate system is when I try to draw something. If you see my cursor, you see here the coordinates x and y on the 2D. And in this particular case, if I go here, you see that x0, y0. So in this drawing, the absolute coordinate system is what is active. But I can have another type of coordinate system that it may help me to draw whatever I want. And I can come here to the tools menu and do this, change center of coordinates. And I can do define new 2D coordinates. So I click here, I can have all these options to choose a new point, but I will choose a easy one. You see that I still did not click, but when I'm in this point, I have the X 340 and the Y 175. So I will choose this now. Okay. Now, if I show you, let us try to do a line, you see that my entities, if I come closer this point, you see the 0, 0 is here, okay, because I defined a user coordinate system, and the absolute, it has negative values, okay? So I can make as many coordinate systems as I need, just with the concept that the absolute one is always here. You cannot change it or delete it. So it's always here. You can create your own coordinate systems wherever you want. You can use it as it was the absolute, but this is something that is temporary. And now it has the user defined, but if I want to change for the absolute again, I just need to come here again, change, and do the reset coordinate system, okay? And let us try again. You see now that if I come here again, you see that x, it's no longer 0, neither the y, and it should be here again. So I think it's quite easy to understand, and for sure is something that you can use at your own needs when you are working on the 2D. So I hope this was clear, these concepts, and with this we end this lesson number 9, and I hope to see you on the following lesson.